G'day, Brad from KLR Automotive. I want to talk to you today about bleeding your diesel system, specifically your mechanical system. So we've got a Parenti here, 4BD1. We'll cover the 2DIs as well, both very similar injection systems. You've got a mechanical lift pump that pulls the diesel up from the tank and delivers it through your filter into the injection pump. Now, bleeding your diesel system is something that people tend to complicate unnecessarily because it is actually quite a simple procedure, but I think some of the confusion comes about because there's sort of two scenarios where you're going to be bleeding. Most workshop procedures assume that the diesel system is completely empty of any diesel, so think new engine, a fresh rebuild, new injection pump, and you have to pump diesel everywhere. That's where you need to use a full-blown bleeding procedure, cracking injectors, that sort of thing. Most of the time though, that's simply unnecessary. Most of the time you're just going to be bleeding because you're replacing the fuel filter or you've just run out of diesel and you need to pump a bit of fresh diesel through. So on this particular one today, we're just replacing the fuel filter, a fairly straightforward job. Now just while I'm getting this off, we do get asked a lot, how often should you replace your diesel filter? And the question, and the answer is it depends. There we go, got a bit of diesel coming out, but that'll get caught in the tray underneath. If you're running around a more built up area with high turnover servos, you can probably let your filter go for about 20,000 Ks. We'll drain that later on. But if you're fueling up out of jerry cans or in outback servos where there's less turnover, I've already pre-greased this one. Let's just give that a quick wipe under there. Yeah, so where there's a higher risk of contamination, you really need to change your fuel filter more often. And on trips like that, you need to carry a couple of spare ones. Now, you might notice we don't pre-fill the filters. There's actually no need to. And it does increase the risk of introducing contaminated fuel, so there's no need to do that. Right, so that's a new filter on there. Now we're just going to bleed this. In the case of a Parenti, all you need is a 17mm spanner. We're going to crack open that. That's actually the outlet out of the filter, but you might notice this is actually the highest point on the engine, and it's no coincidence that the filter's also fitted high up. That's because air comes up, makes it very, very easy to bleed. So just bear that in mind, we're undoing the top bolt. Next, we need to start using the priming pump. Now just a quick word on these pumps. Some of you may still have the old school one. It was an aluminium body, and you need to actually unscrew the top of it, which will come up, and then you can start pumping. Now as a pump they work, but we're finding most of them are leaking now. You're far better off unscrewing that, throwing it away, and grabbing one of these Bosch ones. They're cheap, they're reliable, they're easy to use. You simply just got to start pushing on them. Now, you can see I'm just using my trusty 17mm spanner as an extension there, but we just simply start pumping. You might hear diesel coming up, but what we're looking for, you'll eventually start to see bubbles of diesel coming out here, and pretty much we just keep pumping. Remember, we're filling up the filter here, so it's going to take a little bit of volume. I can feel it's building up a bit of pressure, and there we go. So the air's out, you can see, actually you can see quite a few air bubbles coming out here. They've stopped, we've got nothing but diesel. We close our banjo bolt off, and that's it now, ready to start. So as you can see, that's it. That's completely bled, ready to start. Very quick and easy procedure, about 30 seconds there. All we do now is degrease this, ready for a test drive. But this is the Parenti finished. Let's go and have a look at the 2DI, and I'll show you what you're going to do on that. Here we are on a 300 2DI, very, very similar to the Isuzu motor. You'll notice the filter here is at the high point in the engine bay, so again, all the air comes to the top. A couple of differences though, with the 2DI, they've actually got a lever on the bottom of the lift pump. Now just a quick word on the 2DI lift pumps, they're a little bit ordinary to be honest. You do need to replace them on a regular basis. Often the only time you know you've got a failure there is when you actually come to prime it. That's another problem, but just bear in mind you will be replacing those lift pumps regularly. One thing we didn't really talk about over on the Isuzu motor was the differences you'll see if you've actually run out of fuel. Now the first thing to do is if you're driving along and you feel it running out of fuel, just simply stop. Don't try to get another 100 metres, 200 metres, whatever. The longer you try to go, the more air you're putting into the system, the harder it is going to be to bleed it. So just simply stop, sort out your fuel situation, get more fuel in the tank, however you've got to do it, And then the bleed procedure itself is almost the same as when we were swapping the fuel filter. So open up the bleed nipple on the top here, just a 10mm spanner, and simply start moving your priming lever. Now, something to remember with the TDIs, the lift pump actually operates off a lobe on the camshaft, and if the engine's stopped in the high point, you're not going to maximise the stroke out of the lift pump. You'll often feel that. What you can do is turn the motor over a little bit and you'll suddenly feel you're getting a longer stroke out of it, so you're pumping more diesel more easily. And you can see there, a little bit of air, not much, but there's diesel starting to come up through that bleed nipple. And I can actually feel I haven't got much of a stroke going on there. We'll move this a little bit more. Yeah, that's a little bit better. But we haven't replaced the filter on this, so there's really no air to come out of there. So I'm going to say that's as much as we need to do. So that's it for the TDIs. Now, when you are bleeding the system after running out of fuel, you may actually need to do it a few times because you might have a big air blockage down the back, you might have another one up here. So don't be shy about pumping a little bit longer than you normally would, just to make sure you got all the air out of it. You won't need to do anything on the injector side because remember, we shut the engine down before you ran out of too much fuel and got air everywhere. Now, you just want to talk briefly about bleeding the injectors, and this is the area I was referring to before where people want to overcomplicate the bleeding procedure. Most of the time you don't need to bleed those. It's only if you've filled everything up with air, got the last drop of diesel out, that you may have an issue at the injectors. But bear in mind, diesel's being pushed through by your injector pump up to the injector at incredible PSI. It'll push most of the air out, but sometimes when you manage to restart it, you might have a rough idle, or you might have an injector that's just struggling to get the last bit of air out. That's when you can go along the top here with a 17mm spanner and just crack each injector pipe in turn, just one at a time. And if there's any air in there, you'll see little spurts of air, and then eventually it'll just be a spurt of diesel. Lock it off, the engine should be running smoothly. Most of the time you don't need to do that. Don't be tempted to do it until you've actually got the engine running. Now, before we go, I just want to quickly talk about the later model engines, so basically electronic diesels. 2D5's quite simple to bleed. That's all done with the in-tank fuel pump. All you do there is turn the key on, let it run for 30 seconds, turn it off, turn it back on again. By the book, you do that 6 times. During that time, you'll actually hear the pump run. You often hear the diesel coming through the head. You hear the air coming through as well, so you know when you're right to start. After 6 goes, foot flat to the floor on the accelerator and start it. Most of the time it'll go. Puma Defenders are a little bit different. They have no onboard priming facility whatsoever, which I think is a terrible, terrible idea. But the short answer there is don't run out of diesel in your Puma Defender. When you're replacing the filter, you do just take the old one off, put the new one on, start the engine and let it idle. 9 times out of 10, they sort themselves out. That one time they don't, you've got a little bit of a problem, but that's a conversation for another day. But there we have it. Priming your diesel, quite simple. For your Parenti, all you need is a 17mm spanner. For your TDI, all you need is a 10mm spanner. And remember, don't overcomplicate it.